Well, I'm back. Unshowered, eating. Not much has changed.
Katie Jones is back, but we don't know for how long. Because that's how she is. She's mysterious. So, it may just be me on the next episode. It could be me and Taylor. Like, who knows? But Katie Jones is going to come on as much as she can. And
well, Taylor's your new co-host. I'm a guest right now.
How does that feel?
Well, I don't have any per diems at the moment. You should be like buying me wine to get through this as a guest. You should know that through producing.
What, like send you wine?
Yeah, exactly. Like, thanks for being on my show.
By the way, I don't know why I just thought about this, but have you been watching any reality shows recently? Teen Mom started again.
So good.
Yeah.
And new season of 16 and Pregnant started. So good.
Yeah. Is it so good? Okay, I watched like some of it and I was kind of like, but you're saying watch the whole thing?
I'm loyal to that franchise.
Me too.
I've been watching 16 and Pregnant, Teen Mom 2, Teen Mom 3, Teen Mom in the UK, Young and Pregnant. Like, I've watched them all.
Yeah, but the UK one wasn't that great, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I watched that season. It was okay. It wasn't that great. It wasn't the same drama.
There's multiple.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so I just watch it. Actually, what I'm binging right now is Real Housewives of New York City.
Oh.
I'm obsessed with that because this last season, I think it was season 12, was the first season I ever watched. My thing's coming off my microphone. And I really liked it. So I went back and I was like, I don't want to start season 1 that's just too old. So I picked season 5 and I've just been watching it nonstop since. It's so good. It's wild. I don't know how they don't see themselves and then change their behavior for the next season. It's nuts.
Well, because I feel like maybe they're rewarded a bit for their behavior. I love the franchise and I love Andy Cohen. I'm just saying that if you create the drama, you usually stay for the next season.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
So, I mean, no surprise, Katie Jones. We're going to talk about love and dating.
Oh, my God. It's been a while. What's that saying? It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. By the way, I was listening to old recordings of you and I from when we were at Humber in our journalism days when we were in college. And there's one clip of you doing an interview, and I was dying because I know that you were not interested in this interview. Yeah. It was about
we were talking about this on Friday. You were killing me.
It was literally Katie Jones. I think I should try to insert a clip here. It was Katie Jones talking about the food swamp in Toronto.
96.9 Radio Hummer's in-depth news.
You sound like a baby.
Program. I'm Ryan Durkee. Coming up, Toronto is a great city, but it's also a food swamp. We'll find out exactly what that means. Also, we'll get reaction to Russians' doping scandal. Then we have an all-new episode of Sassy and Classy for you. Plus, sneaker culture goes mainstream. All this and more today on At Humber.
I think that was my feedback, is that Robin would say that I should be using more my regular voice because I was using this announcer voice, and it's I should just be myself. Oh, okay. I think this is Katie Jones. Okay, here we go.
To learn more about the growing issue.
To an overabundance of unhealthy foods like chips, frozen pizzas in areas that also have less access to food that's better for you.
You sound so excited about this. You sound so interested.
How big do you think this issue has become in the city of Toronto?
Why did you say Toronto like you're not from Toronto? You said Toronto.
What is it?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Do you want to hear Sassy and Classy? We sound we literally sound
Looking for more sass in your life? We've got you covered. Katie Jones and I are back with a brand new episode of Sassy and Classy.
Well, I can't believe it, Ryan, but we are back. They actually let us do another show.
I know. I'm so excited that we're back
this
on
is so
for
cool.
episode 2 of Sassy and Classy.
We're your hosts. I'm Katie Jones.
And I'm Ryan Durkee.
Sound amazing.
They believe in us. And you know who Canadians also believe in?
Who's that?
That's Justin Trudeau. We're going to be talking about our new Prime
That's so
Minister.
many more.
So actually, we decided we're going to do a Canadian theme today. Justin,
Watch this.
and then segue.
Look at this editing.
remember all of this.
He, of course, was elected our brand new prime minister. But one of the things that's getting people talking online was his looks. A lot of the media in the U.S. have been focusing
I just want to
on
listen to this
Justin Trudeau's
segment.
looks, branding him Canada's hot new prime minister. I think that should not be the focus of a politician, and that if it was flipped to a female prime minister, that it would not be okay. So why is there this
Here's
double
Katie
standard?
Jones.
See, I have a little bit of a different opinion. I'm
Of
going to put
course.
it right out there. I personally don't think it's the worst conversation ever to be talking about his good looks. We are also very much talking about his policies, how progressive he is, what he wants for Canada, the change he's going to bring. And that is exciting. We had an amazing...
Okay, well,
Really smart and well-spoken.
you are so smart and well-spoken. Anyways, I miss you. Listening to that, I called you and we talked, and I mean, you're just amazing. And I'm glad to have you in my life.
You're so kind. Yeah, I love you too. Those were some fun times. So how are you enjoying your podcast these days, Ryan?
I'm enjoying it. It's going well. I mean, of course,
Hi, Taylor.
it's never going to be the same without Katie Jones, because, you know, we've done Sassy and Classy and we've done the podcast for a year and a half. And I mean, I definitely love the different dynamic that Taylor's bringing, right? Like he brings the whole, he's going to school to be a naturopath. So he brings that whole element of it. And, you know, a lot of the times we're talking about like topics like, you know, mental health or anxiety. And I think it's an interesting dynamic, right? Like, whereas like you and I are like dating, love, like sex.
Hey, now you get best of both worlds.
It's a best of both worlds. So I think that it's brought a great dynamic to the podcast, and it's good to switch it up a bit. So I'm glad to have you back on as well. And we're going to, of course, talk about dating and love. And I absolutely am obsessed with you, Katie Jones. You know that. Literally, like whenever we do an episode together, I'll listen to it a bunch. Like I still listen to some of our old episodes. I've said this before.
Awesome.
It's like a journal. I like you go, it's awesome because you don't. No, I'm just kidding. You do. You do. No, she does. She'll message me sometimes and she'll be like, oh, I was listening to this episode. I miss you.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I've listened to like all your episodes. Well, I haven't listened to all of them, but since you've been doing it with Taylor.
And what
like
do you think?
If I have time, I think they're great. I think they're great. I think they're informative. And he's down to like do video chats. I usually am not because, you know, this. But no, they're great.
But today you're down to do a video chat.
I just didn't want to argue. I knew I'd be like, oh, do we have to? And you'd be like, oh, come on. And we'd go back and forth and you'd win. So I just thought, oh, whatever. The viewers can look at this. So I don't really care.
Is that why you only committed to one episode?
Well, and I got stuff to do. But
okay.
Okay, so Ryan, you wrote out some things you want to talk about.
Yes.
And you sent them to me. And so I'm just reading it. Thoughts on people dating during a pandemic.
Yes. So this is a topic that I've already talked to one person about, and I'm hoping to talk to one other person about on the podcast. The person that I talked to about this actually found love during a pandemic, and now she's a boyfriend.
Amazing.
And they even got a COVID test before they even kissed each other.
Really?
Yeah. They would go on like pandemic protocols dating, like they would go outside and stay like 6 feet apart, and like one time they're sitting on a bench like 6 feet apart just like talking.
That's
and
so cute.
Eventually when they got to the level of like wanting to kiss, they both went out and got a COVID test, and
that's great.
Now they're dating.
Wait, how did they meet? Like on a dating site?
Yeah, they met on Bumble.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, as long as like you're being safe and everything about it, like clearly these people were being, like, we all need a little love in our life. And like, I can't imagine how hard it must have been for some people to like be on lockdown, be home, and be alone, especially if they didn't want that, you know? I think it was probably for people like that a really good like self-discovery, self-reflection time. But for others that, you know, need companionship, and it was probably so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really grateful. I was in lockdown, but, you know, I have my boyfriend and everything, which shout out will be 2 years next month.
No way.
I know. Do you remember when like we first started recording and like he was like my new boyfriend?
Well, when we first started recording, you had gone on like a weird Bumble date that like didn't work out. Like you weren't feeling him, and his shoes were off on one of the dates. I don't know if that was the same guy, but this is a different guy. And then I think like a week or two after that, you had met your current boyfriend, and
Yeah.
you like already were like head over heels for him, and it was just like a match made in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah. A
And it,
match made on a farm.
and that's where you're at right now, right? You're living
Yeah.
with him.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
you're at the farm right now, and you've actually done a lot of work on the place, right?
Yeah, and we're engaged.
Are you actually?
Oh no.
Stop. So you
Imagine
switched
that was how I told you.
I know, on the podcast while we're recording. That's why I was like, she's messing with me. Like,
Yeah. No, we're not engaged yet.
you think
Yeah,
it's coming though?
Yeah, of course.
You think it's coming within 2020?
I don't know.
Or
I don't know. No,
or at
I
the
don't
strike
think so.
at the strike of midnight on 2021? I always said it was going to be a New Year's thing. I thought last New Year's for some reason, but
No. Like the thing is that it's coming. Like Jeff and I are breaking up. I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed.
you're
But
not
so
breaking
it's not
up, right?
really a matter of like if, it's just like when it happens.
You said you're not breaking up, right?
We're not breaking up.
Sorry,
I mean,
your
that's
mic cut out a bit there, and it sounded
oh,
like
sorry. Yeah, no, we're not breaking up, just to clarify. I mean, hopefully not. That's, I think, the goal when you're happy relationship. But like, so I poke at him about a ring, but I don't. It's not that I never want to get proposed to, because I do want that moment. But like, it's not the center of our relationship, because I don't want like a big wedding or anything like that. Anyways, I want to be super casual and small. So I don't. It'll happen when it happens, and I'll say yes when it happens, but I'm not like, clock is ticking, don't make me wait any longer, or I'm gonna like move on with my life. So you know what I mean.
Yeah, did you decide on if I'm invited to your wedding or not?
I'm still deciding that.
You would be invited to my wedding, and I want to do a small
You'd be
intimate
invited
wedding.
to my wedding, you weirdo. Why would you
I
not
wa-
be invited to my wedding?
I want to do like a forest wedding, or like
Yeah,
something
so,
in
well,
the wilderness outside.
Jeff and I are probably gonna get married at our friend's house. We always like I always joke that we're getting married there. So yeah, but
Okay, but
yeah, so I'm all for dating during the pandemic.
I like I like how you brought it back, because you know I'm going to keep going on this. Well, because now this is an interesting topic. Like, this isn't on our list, but are you ready for married life? Is it going to be any different than your current life? And if it isn't, why do you want to move to that step?
No, I don't think it's going to be any different. I think it's a cool thing for somebody to be like, I choose you, and this is like a symbol
Yeah.
of my love, my choice, my commitment, all that cute stuff. But no, I mean, Jeff and I's lives are, very intertwined, entangled,
Yeah.
tangled. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've lived together for like 2 years basically, and we have 5 animals together, and so I just can't really see much like changing.
Yeah. But it's still a step that you want to take. It's the next step, right? I get it.
Yeah, it just feels like right, but it's not necessarily like a deal breaker for me. Like I don't have to worry about it being a deal breaker because Jeff's on the same age, we want the same things. But like, there's some people that will be like, unless we get married and I have a big wedding, like I won't settle for anything less. I'm not like that. So
No.
yeah, no, I love them, and we're happy, and like when that happens, that'll happen. But I mean, we already live like a boring old married life anyways, so
Oh, do you think that he's changed you, like for the better, being with him?
yeah, I guess that's a nice question. I guess like he's just a very good guy, he's just got good morals, and he's a good person, he's a calm person, and like I think I can benefit from like chill the hell out. So yeah, he's great. And with my job, I'm so lucky to be filming right now and working. And I do a lot of traveling, like I've said in the last episode I was on. And that saying of like the distance makes the heart grow fonder, I totally agree with. Like, I mean, it's not that we needed any distance because we're happy in our relationship, but
Yeah.
it is nice, like when I come home after those days gone, like you just really appreciate who you're coming home to that much more. Like, So yeah, it's been nice that way because I've been out of
Aw.
town for weeks. So
For a couple
we'll be
weeks?
back out of town soon. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So
So
do you stay like on location in a hotel or something?
yeah, yeah. So
So I'm happy for you.
yeah. What about your dating life?
There's no updates there, so that's a
Oh,
quick
are you putting
segment.
yourself out there? That's
Yeah,
a quick segment.
I got back on Tinder. Do you want to know my Tinder profile that I wrote? And
Yeah.
I told two friends this, and they thought it was a bit too cheesy. And then I told my other friends who have known me longer than these other two friends. I'm just gonna put that out there,
You
and they
probably picked
loved it.
friends that you knew would like it. Like, I'm going to ask Shannon because Shannon will like it and it'll be self-validating.
I don't know if I have a friend, Shannon. Okay, so let me read it to you, Katie Jones. I have a friend named Katie Jones. So, Katie Jones, let's see what you think about it. So, warm like apple pie, spicy like a PSL, and as dynamic as the changing leaves. Okay, now that the fall puns are over, you can fall for me. What
So,
is
what's a PSL?
pumpkin spice latte?
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean,
Why don't you like
what
it?
you rate is what you're going to get. I mean, you're a really ridiculous person, so it's good that that people know right off the jump.
I'm trying to be funny though. I feel like other people think that I'm trying to be like it's extra.
Oh, so I feel like you're self-conscious about it. That's why you're bringing it up. And you really don't know which way you side either.
Yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
telling yourself, you're like, it's not cheesy. It's not cheesy.
It
It's
wasn't,
not cheesy.
but then with Katie Jones' reaction, I think now maybe it is cheesy.
I think it is a good fit for you.
Why? Because it's extra and cheesy
Yeah,
and romantic.
exactly. And have people like message you commenting on that specific,
No.
like changing dynamic leaves? So it's being ignored.
Yeah. So maybe I should change it.
Oh my God. How have you seen like
Oh, should I
these?
change it?
No, it's fine.
Oh.
It's fine. I'm just poking fun. It's cute. But have you seen like a difference in these dating sites since coronavirus? Like, are people like, I don't know, or how is it?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I feel like at the start of it, there were still people who are like, I want to meet up, I want to hook up, and I'd be like, what? Like what? We're in a pandemic. And then now it doesn't seem like people are really like that. I mean, I'm sure there's some people like that, but even with people that you want to meet up with, I feel like they understand.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
even
yeah.
I haven't met up with anyone in like a month or two, like since I moved here, I think. So even when I've talked to these guys, like when I was kind of like, okay, maybe I'll meet up with them, it's like, hey, let's meet for a hike. Or let's meet for like a walk, like something outside where we can kind of keep a distance and be outside. And people seem down for it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll
That's
see what
nice.
happens with it. But no, it's hard right now during the pandemic because it's like you don't want to just meet up with anyone. And it's not like you can like do anything other than go outside. And now it's getting colder. So it's like once it gets colder, what do you do if you want to meet up with someone,
Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't really
yeah,
want
for
to have them
sure.
into your place
You just get COVID test and go in lockdown. Which,
together.
by the way, have you had a COVID test?
No. Have you?
I have to all the time for work.
How is
Yeah,
it? Give us how it feels. Tell the listeners.
well, the first time I had it, I like explained like I hate needles, stuff like that. Like I get really bad anxiety leading up to things like that. So I like told the gentleman that I was really scared and really uncomfortable with this kind of stuff. So he was really calm and patient and like treated me like I was 5, which I loved. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Aw.
and we're done.
But it's not a needle though.
No, it's not. But just like anything like
Right.
that, like when you come
Okay.
in and they like hurt you temporarily and then you go home and you're traumatized. And like it was one of those things that while it's happening, it was like uncomfortable. And then as soon as it was out, it was fine. And then the second time I went, I mean, I don't doubt that this nurse was probably extremely overworked and tired, and I get that. But she was very rough and
Oh.
my like just kind of like head back, up the nose, out you go.
Oh.
And I know she definitely went like too far. Like my head was burning for like 2 hours.
Really?
I was really upset about it because it was just like, it's freaky, right? It's like near your brain.
Yeah.
And then the third time was fine. I like told the guy about my first 2 experiences. And so he went back to number 1 guy that treated me like I was 5 and
Aw.
gave me a lollipop. So it was great.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to your list. Advice for those scared of commitment.
Yeah, what
What you
advice do you
scared
have for
about?
someone? Well, I just think that there are people that are scared of commitment. I was reading like Reddit and dating advice, and someone had brought that up about being scared of commitment. And I think I've been in that stage where I say I want a boyfriend, but I'm actually a little bit nervous as it gets closer because it is a
Yeah.
commitment. And it's like, well, now, you know, because, you know, I'm a friendly, flirty person. You are too. And it's like, well, now can I not flirt? But like when you're with the right person, you don't want to flirt a bunch with other people,
Well,
right?
I think also a lot of people get scared about commitment because you almost like cut your options off, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're single, anyone that's single, don't be going for people's husbands, but anyone that's single is like an opportunity or an option. And then when you get in a committed relationship, let's just say there's no infidelity, because hopefully there isn't, you're now saying to the world, don't approach me. Don't try to ask me out. Don't ask for my number. I'm taken. And I think some
Yeah.
people worry, like, am I with the right person? Did I, miss that person that I was supposed to meet because I was wrapped up with this person?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just life. And life, like, if somebody makes you happy and you see a future with them, then I mean, I'm all for it. I've been in committed relationships for years now. So yeah, commitment just doesn't scare me because I'm like live your life kind of
Yeah.
person. So yeah, I mean, and then hopefully it's just one of those things that it's like, okay, you're scared of commitment because you haven't met the right person yet. And
Right.
when you meet the right person, hopefully you won't be scared anymore.
I agree with that. And I think that ties in with trust too. Like, I really think that with the right people, it's like even with the right friends, you just trust them. You just trust what they say. Whereas, like, I think
Yeah.
some people right off the bat have been like, I don't trust this person. And sometimes I'm right. Sometimes it turns out that, like, there are definitely red flags and there's stuff that's not going to work out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you wanted to talk about reaching out to an ex. Have you done that?
Oh, yeah. I've done
Yeah?
it
Like, what
in
do
the
you say?
past.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah. Like, hey, like, how's it going? Like, how have you been? And like most recently when I did it, he didn't respond. And then when I moved, this was like 2019, I think, though. I think. Yeah, I think it was like April 2019. So it
This
was like a
wasn't
while
last
ago.
week.
No, but then recently when I posted something about being in a new city, he responded, or he
Oh.
liked it. He liked it.
Mm.
And so I found that interesting, but he used to live in that city and I don't know whether he still does, but I found that interesting, but I didn't reach out again because the last
Yeah.
time he didn't reach out to me. So like now if he knows if he's in that city or he wants to talk about it, he could reach out to me. That was just one instance. But I was watching Crazy Stupid Love last night with some friends. And one of the things is like persistence. Like if you love someone and you're interested in them, like continue to go for it, continue to fight for it. Don't just give up. And so that brings up the topic of like, there's this guy that I was in love with in university. I'm just going to put it out there. We've talked about him before and I haven't talked
Oh
about him in a
yeah.
while, but he lives, I think, and works around where I live, like probably within a 20-minute
really?
drive. Yeah. Like that was the thing is like I was in Toronto and, there was already the distance there. Plus when we were talking in university, I was between London, Ontario, and Toronto. He was between London, Ontario, and Ottawa area. So like now it's like we're in the same place, but I don't have him on social media anymore because this is the guy that the psychic told me to block. Do you remember this story?
Oh yeah,
Do you
yeah,
remember this?
yeah.
This was like a year
Mhm.
ago. A psychic told me to block him on everything. So I did. So it makes me wonder though, like, should I reach out to him? Should I go on a hike with him? Should I
What
do
is with
that?
you and this fucking obsession with hiking all of a sudden?
Well, you don't see
Should I
me
go on
being
a
a hiker.
hike? I
You
want
don't
to
see
go
me,
on a hike. I went on a hike. I'm
Katie
about to go
Jones.
on a hike.
Katie Jones, if you came to Ottawa, we would go on a hike. There's
No.
so many trails around
Oh my
here.
god! And then we could go skating on the canal.
Yeah, you should come
And then go
visit.
on
You're
a
welcome
hike.
to. Go on a hike with snowshoes.
Oh god.
So it's like it brings up the point of like I do feel like I fought for a while and I kept trying to make an effort and stuff, but it's like then when this psychic told me, I just deleted him off everything. There's no connection anymore. There's no communication, and you know, it makes me wonder, like, should I reach out?
Why not? Life is short.
But I've reached out before, and he's basically said that he only sees me as a friend. This
Oh,
would have been
well
like 2 or
then
3 years ago. then, then you're like, no.
maybe just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always find it funny. I don't post a lot about Jeff, which is funny because I did yesterday. But like in terms of other than like story stuff, I'm not a big like poster or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess for some people that maybe I used to date or whatever may think I'm like single. So there's like a few people that like every like 6 months will kind of like send me a message because I'm not all
Really?
over social media about like Jeff. So like send me a little message like, oh, how are you and the boyfriend doing? And then when I say like, oh, we're good, they're like,
They
circle
disappear?
back away. Yeah. And then about 6 months later, hey, and it's just like always the same people. And it's just like, yeah, no, I'm still with him. You can go now.
Maybe you
Oh
should
my
post
God,
something
they're-
on your 2-year
Me?
anniversary.
That'd be so romantic, and I
So
probably will.
romantic. You totally should.
I
Do you? And
totally
but maybe he can be shirtless.
Oh, you like really want to see Jeff shirtless, don't you?
You sent me pictures of him. I feel like shirtless. Have you not? Oh.
I don't know. Like, I think that sounds like something I would definitely do, though. You know what I always forget about Jeff is how tall he is.
How tall is he?
Maybe he just feels so big because I'm so not big. Like he's 6'1", but sometimes I feel like I'm just like obviously there's taller than 6'1", but I just feel like he's just so much larger than me.
Wow, but you love
He's
it.
very slim. Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting distracted here. But yeah, no, it just always makes me laugh.
Okay, so let's wrap this up.
Sounds like a Katie thing to say.
Katie decided to make a salad in the middle of our podcast, and it looks really delicious, to be honest. Is it a Caesar salad?
Mm-hmm.
I love Caesar salad.
It's so basic. I want to go grocery shopping and fill my fridge and stuff now that I'm home this week. And so I just wanted to eat something before I go shopping, and it's literally lettuce and Caesar and fake parm, and it's awesome.
Well, you know, they say that you shouldn't go grocery shopping on an empty stomach, which I do all the time. Well, I didn't know that, but I guess that makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's cover one last topic. I had another one on here about talking about how do you deal with when parents don't support your partner, like, you know, your choice in partner. But I feel like you and I have talked about that before. So there's another topic, unless you want to touch on that at all.
Well, I just think like in terms of that, why don't they support you? And is it going to make a difference in your life? Do they not support him because he doesn't have enough money, let's just say, and he doesn't have enough money, let's just use that one. But that doesn't bother you, then you can let them judge that all they want. But is he actually like a bad influence? Or, you know, they say you are the company you keep. Is it just a bad situation, and should you really be listening to them? So I think it all just is circumstantial, but hopefully your parents just want the best for you. And if your relationship makes you happy, then, you know. Have you been cooking?
I've been heating things up. It's like pre-made stuff that I like heat up.
Your own kitchen.
So we did Friendsgiving yesterday, and it was me and 2 friends, and, you know, I was just like, assign me to the simple stuff. So they assigned me to like rice and Caesar salad. And the Caesar salad was like a pre-made Caesar salad.
Oh my God.
Because they were doing like crazy stuff with like the chicken and putting garlic butter inside the chicken underneath the skin and stuff. I don't know. It was great. It was a great meal, but like they definitely took on they made like a pierogi casserole, which was so good.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and I was watching, I was observing, but I just don't get that passionate about it. Like I wasn't like, I want to be putting like I want to be like, you know, melting the garlic butter and then putting it underneath the skin of the chicken. And I loved the final result. I loved how passionate they were about it. And I loved being the host. Like I was hosting, setting things up, cleaning as we went. Like I was doing my part, but the cooking part, it just doesn't excite
You
me.
just took the back burner. I get it. I want you to learn to cook though and find the joy in making a meal.
Maybe I need a beautiful Italian boyfriend to teach me how to make Italian cuisine and lots of pizza and pasta and that, and, you know, have some nice Italian sausage mixed in there. And you see what I did there? And
I picked it up.
and just like, you know, show me around the kitchen a little bit.
Love that. I love that for you.
That's such a reality show moment where it'd be like, I love that for you. And then it cuts to your interview being like, I couldn't stand that.
Ryan's a loser.
The final topic is going to be, how do you stand out on a dating app? I know you haven't been on dating apps in like 2 years, but I want to know how you think, even if you want to put yourself in my shoes, how do I stand out on a dating app? I think I'm going to take out that cheesy line that I was talking about because no one seems to be responding to it. I have got some quality matches though. I have got some quality matches, but no one's mentioned that line. So it could just be the pictures I chose.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Do you want to see the photos for all the people watching on Instagram TV and YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. So here's me.
Oh my God, you look like your brother there.
Do I?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you're so cheesy. Love that. You're a businessman. Is that your ET one?
No,
Whoa!
that was from public relations.
Wow, look at you. You're almost naked in that picture. Love that. You look very personable, very Canadian.
So what do I put as my bio? How can I stand out, Katie Jones? Help me with this.
Oh, I'm so bad at that kind of stuff. Like captions for photos. Like that's not my thing.
Like describe me. Well,
you.
you've known me. Well, okay, you've known me for what? 6 years? You've known me for 6 years. Describe me in a couple of words. You can
You're
do
outgoing.
it.
You're
Okay.
outgoing.
Outgoing.
You're
Ambitious.
funny. You're creative. You're ambitious. You're not a partier. You're
Yeah,
a
that's
family
true.
person. You're a family person. You're into like all things creative and media.
I like that.
I'm joking. That's why you don't eat on a podcast. Yeah, and you're a penis enthusiast.
Katie Jones? What's that even mean? And should I put that in my bio?
No,
Should I put that on my
no.
Should I put that on my LinkedIn certificates?
Hey, how are the men in Ottawa? Are they handsome?
Yeah, there's some handsome guys for sure. Especially like somewhat on the apps, but even when I go grocery shopping or like go on a walk, like there's some good looking guys here. Oh yeah. And everyone's so nice. Everyone's so chill. You have to come visit. You really do.
I definitely will come and visit when I get my next break, couple weeks break between movies. I definitely will.
Yeah. Okay, I'm so down and we'll have to vlog it all.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, well, we should probably wrap this up.
I love you, Katie Jones. I always enjoy chatting with you. Thanks for coming back on your baby and my baby. Is This Adulthood? And
Thank
we
you
love
for
you.
having me. It was a pleasure. Next time, I promise I'll shower beforehand.
And we can't wait to have you on again. My Instagram is @RyanDurgy, RyanDurgy, and it's the same on Twitter. And the podcast Instagram is @IsThisAdulthood. On Twitter, it's @ITA_podcast.
Yes, all those things. And my Instagram is KTW Jones. But I'm just a guest today, so don't worry about that.
Why? You don't want any more followers?
I don't even know, like, if I have any really followers anymore. I don't go on social media enough, I feel like.
Well, I think that the listeners are going to want to know whether you post a 2-year anniversary picture coming up. And I'm going to be watching too. So, all right.
November 25th. Keep your eyes open.
There you go. Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you.